Hello and welcome to From Dreams to Reality, a Business Tale podcast interview series. I'm your host, Jerry Covella, and today I am joined by the amazing Tony Ciccarone, owner of Three Tone Digital, located in Clifton Park, New York. Tony, welcome, my friend. How are you today?
Yeah, I'm good, Jerry. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to a great conversation. Let's do this. Why don't you kick off the conversation by telling us a little bit more about you and your cutting edge business?
Yeah, so my name is Tony Ciccarone, or Chicharron, as my wife likes to say. I like to do your hand like this when you say it. I run Three Tone Digital with her. It's a two-person business. We do web design, web development, digital marketing, anything that has to do with tech, websites, fixing them, building them, optimizing them, maintaining them, hosting them. The list goes on and on. And that's me in a nutshell. How did I get in this nutshell? You know.
Yeah, and I know before the podcast began, you were telling me a little bit about your personal history. How about bringing us into that conversation? Really interesting.
Yeah, it's weird. I actually never told anybody before, so this will be the first time. It's kind of like a admission. So I am where I'm at now. It's not like there's some luxurious, I'm not on a yacht or anything like that, but I'm very happy for where I'm at because in the beginning of my life, I grew up probably like many on welfare and Section 8. My grandmother raised me, had no kind of business sense or anything like that. I graduated high school. I formed a metal band. I play guitar and piano. I thought that was my route in life, really. And it wasn't my route. I wound up homeless on the street for a good 2 years in shelters. I kind of built my way up. I moved to California. I hitched a ride there and wound up in Silicon Valley. And I got hired at a company by mistake for web development. The guy said he liked the way that I clicked on the icon. I did take a little college. It was a year certification in web design. They didn't teach me much, but I was in my mind, I was like, this is it. I have to get out of this rut that I'm in by following this path. And I fell in love with it. When I was really young, I did code a little bit. We found a computer in the garbage, and I started coding on basic programming on a Commodore. And I knew that it was in my head that I can do this. I loved it when I was a child. So I wound up in California, and I worked my way up to Silicon Valley, moved back east to New York. I'm from Rhode Island originally. That's where I'm at. I wouldn't say that I made it as far as I want to go yet, but I'm definitely better off than I used to be, and I'm on the path, and I'm very motivated and determined to get to that yacht. Maybe not a yacht. I can't swim, so I don't want a yacht actually.
What a great story, my friend. Inspirational, personal success. I'm sure our viewers can appreciate that. It's a tribute to you, the start that you described and then running your own business. So I want to get into the business model a little bit here. What inspired you to start your own business? And what was the initial spark where you said, you know what, I'm going to do this?
It's actually my wife. It has to be her. She has always had it in her mind, this entrepreneurial spirit. Like she would just do things. She built, she creates, she's an artist, she writes, she's a poet, and she's like, I'll make money no matter what, and I'm gonna do it. It doesn't have to be under a 9 to 5 job. Me, I was more structured, like, no, I can't get out of this 9 to 5 type job because it's stability. And then I was laid off in April from a global company. It really just kind of hit me that I have these skills. I'm like a marketing agency dropout, so I've been with marketing agencies. I see how they work. I see how project managers work. I do code. I do design, and I can do all that stuff. And now with the invent of AI, God help me, phenomenal technologist, really. So anything I don't know, I can ask, and there it is. So really, it was her that said, why don't we just do this? Because we were kind of doing our own thing. She did her own thing, busy bee marketing. I was kind of freelancing on the side under my own name, Tony Ciccarone or Chicharron. And then we're like, let's just merge because really we're competing with each other. We're trying to get clients. After I was laid off, it was a blessing in disguise, kind of bittersweet. Let's just do this. And we've been doing it ever since. And it was a slow start, as all businesses are. It's still a slow and it's still growing. It's not like we're at the top of anything yet, but we have been joining networking and Chamber of Commerce's and going out there doing live streams ourselves, digitally connecting with people, and it's getting there. Referral based stuff has been the best. And just meeting people, learning how to talk to people really has been kind of a struggle. I think I've always been like behind a keyboard, headphones on, listening to music, coding, and then getting in front of people and tell them just like this right here, like what is, you got to explain yourself and talk about yourself in 30 seconds. So that has been really essential to start as a business. It hasn't been long. The actual LLC was 2022 in November, but I would say this year it's really gained speed at the beginning of the year due to the layoff again.
Yeah, and good for you. I mean, you are in a very, very competitive business. I know with my business clients, as a coach, we spend a lot of time discussing something we call position of market dominance. So, with that in mind, let me ask you this: what separates you from the competition?
Yeah, the competition is fierce. And like I said, I'm going to probably bring up AI because it's been such a life-changing thing. And for good and for worse, honestly, it does even the playing field. So even people that didn't know how to code or didn't know how to do stuff, now they do. So you have that sort of competition in this. And there's websites that will make a website. You just put text in, and all of a sudden you have a website. That's the bad side of AI, I see, at least for the business. But the good side of it is that knowledge of power. But the thing that separates us, I'd say, is that we are completely human, personable. Like, we communicate via text, we always answer. I send memes to my clients and they appreciate it and they love it. There's humor involved. I personally write, I have, not everybody has taken me up on it, but I write jingles. I'm a pianist and I sing. You wouldn't think by my weird nasally voice, right? But I sing and I write songs, and sometimes I write jingles for them. They have not used it on their website yet, but I have written some that are like audio logos for their logo coming in. Maybe I use my hands a lot. I'm gonna try to stop doing that. I'm in front of the camera. Like an audio logo, meaning their logo flies in. There's like doo 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 doo. There's one for three-tone digital. I can send that to you if you want. But I think like that's kind of what separates us. There's this artistic, creative. Like I said, my wife does art and she writes and stuff. So there's that little bit of creativity. It's not all business. Like of course there's business when we want to make money, but these clients start to become our friends, our best friends. We just got invited to a Best Buddies gala from one of the clients we did a website for, and another client that we did a website for, she invites us to everything. So they're local. Obviously, we're not going to do this yet. If there's a client, some of our clients are in Canada. We haven't yet gone over and met them yet, but we do have these personable conversations and down to earth kind of stuff. So I think that's what separates us. That's what people say, and that's what I like about this kind of low level two-person plus AI. Maybe that's the third actually. It's me, Raina, my wife, and ChatGPT. You gave me the answer. It's very personable, like loving almost, not to sound corny or anything like that, but we do love the people we work with, most of them. No, I'm just kidding. I think it's all
I think the word we're looking for is relationship.
good
Yeah.
relationships, business wise, because we're honest and transparent, really honest, and also funny. And I think we're funny, at least. Maybe they don't think it. We also just give that kind of like, hey, how are, like, we send pictures. Like, we just sent a picture about our Thanksgiving that we're prepping, where I'm doing the mac and cheese, I'm doing the collard greens, and I'm doing the meatballs, because I have to do meatballs because my name's Tony. It's like illegal. It's a legal thing not to do the meatballs.
I'm sure they're great, Tony.
Oh,
So,
they're so good.
but thank you for defining your strategic position of market dominance. I hear you, right? A great relationship with your clients, access, easy access to you and your wife for information, jingles, also. So you kind of cover all the bases. Good stuff.
Yeah, it's not often you get a jingle with your website, I guess. But yeah, we text them, and it's because yeah, when in the beginning when we started like doing competitive research, we realized it's hard to get a hold of people. And then when you are a client, that's the complaint we always get from our clients now, where they say we're from a different agency, it takes weeks to do this and that, and that hopefully we get to the point where maybe yeah, it does take weeks to do this or that. But right now with our 20 to 25 clients, it's instant and we can handle it and be personable, and the relationship is important.
Yeah, good stuff for sure. Next question. How about challenges? Could you share one or two significant challenges you faced in the early stages of your business and how exactly you overcame those challenges?
Yeah, I hope not to repeat myself. I'll probably say different things over the course of these because these answers are kind of like interconnected, I think. But the challenge that we faced, especially in the beginning, is getting clients. Like that's obviously like that's the hardest part. You could say, hey, I know how to do this X, Y, and Z, and who cares if you don't have the work to show for it, or the clients, or the satisfaction rate, or the Google review, really, on the business profile page on Google. So that was the hardest part. But the way we overcame it was just putting ourselves out there by joining chambers, by joining these BRG groups, which is business referral, and just
Hmm.
meeting some really cool, normal, most of them people that want the same thing back. So you learn what they have, they want to offer, like insurance or mind blank. I can't think of anything else they offer besides insurance sometimes. And then we do websites. So it's usually a give and take, but I feel like they need us more than we need them because how often do you meet someone that wants to change insurance companies or a bank or something like that? Getting into Chamber of Commerce and all these little networking has started slowly. Like, here's our one client, and now we have a referral to three clients, and now that opens the door to a few different people and gives us the reviews to show, oh, this person, they know what they're doing because of they have proof of it. I would say
Hmm.
just getting those clients, it's still a struggle. It's always going to be, I feel like we're never going to have enough. I don't know if that's greedy to say, but I feel like just you just want more and more because not maybe not just the relationship, because it is nice to have it's almost like having a bunch of friends, obviously, that pay you money for things, which is unusual when friends pay you money.
Yeah, that's how business operates, right? We
Yeah.
certainly need some revenue coming in. Yet you have a unique dynamic because the next question has to deal with team. It's you and your wife.
We met.
Interesting dynamics. How do you maintain a work-life balance in your business? Do you have any personal rituals or habits that keep you balanced when it comes to work, life, and everything that happens in that dynamic?
Is this a PG podcast? No. So my wife and I met at work. So she was my marketing manager a while ago. She's still my marketing manager. So we knew right away that we could work together, and we did work together. And we had these deep conversations in the beginning, just going out. We used to go to something called Water Fire. No, I'm just talking about our relationship. It's like a thing they do in Rhode Island where they light the river on fire and they play this cool ethereal music, and the streets are like amazing. It's awesome. We would just go there after work and just hang out. We realized I could be with this person the rest of my life and not hate them and not, not get sick of them. And the same thing with business. Like, we can bounce ideas off each other. Sometimes, oh, this spacing is weird, or we have different opinions. But I think those two different types of opinions, we're honestly kind of opposites, but we really come together like puzzle pieces. So, but in terms of rituals, we like to drink tea. I am coming up on 2 years sober from alcohol. That's nice. I'm not like there wasn't a big alcohol problem right then, but I lost 40 pounds. That's cool. That comes along with it. And mentally, way more able to finish projects and quicker and more efficient too. So the rituals used to be maybe back in the day, oh, drink a beer to celebrate the project or whatever. Not anymore. Tea, we get these natural tea. We eat really healthy because all these recalls that are going on. Maybe not
Mhm.
raw milk because there's, I think, bird flu in that. We don't go as far as that. She does yoga. I should be doing yoga because my back hurts a lot, but I don't get to it. I always say I'm going to do it. I don't do it. One thing I do personally, even right before this call, I would turn the computer on, but I'm in the basement. This is where I'm at. I play piano before like almost anything that's big, like just this one right here. I play piano before. It relaxes me. It gets me in the mood to talk. I love to sing. I love to play. So that's part of my own ritual. And for her, she does a lot of things. She draws and she's the arts. She's like we're like left brain, right brain, really. When it comes, obviously, like art is one part of the brain, but I'm more analytic and she is more creative. So she does her own rituals per se. But after
Mhm.
meetings, we come together, we talk about it, and sometimes we use a whiteboard that we bought on Amazon, which has been really helpful. At first, it was thinking like, oh, like a whiteboard, who uses that anymore? But it's nice to just get it written and see it on the board when you walk by every day, and you can check things off. Obviously, we have Google Sheets and all these Trello and Jira and things like that, but a whiteboard has kind of been essential to our three-tone success.
Mhm. You have me intrigued.
Mm.
So your normal day, is there like a break point where you say, okay, business is done and now we enjoy our life? Or is the business conversation, can that percolate at any time during the day?
Unless there's something going on TV that we watch, like 90 Day Fiance or like award shows, which we love award shows, anything live. we kind of take the work with us. So even if we're on the couch, we might be like, oh, I got to push this site. Can you help me do this or whatever? And we'll sit there. It's probably not healthy, but we'll have our laptops even after the day is done. But we also learn to separate it because there are times, and it is easy, especially when you work from home, to just stay in your pajamas, unshowered. I didn't say that. You can cut that out. You just, you get into that like mode of, oh, I don't have to do anything, but it is like, I know you're talking about like what advice you would give other entrepreneurs coming into it. Present yourself well. I think that's one thing, and just have patience. Not to jump ahead to this, but like part of what we do is really intertwined, and it's hard to separate yourself sometimes. And if you don't separate yourself, and if you don't enjoy the life, and we have 4 kids, and spend the time with them, then the other part suffers for it. Like you're not as productive, you're not as ambitious, you're not as efficient because you're taking this part of life away, and you're just on
Mhm.
the computer all day, you know? I'm not to say like that was a lesson I had to learn personally. It's not like I was knowledgeable of that. It was this slump where you get into after a year and you're like, oh, now I'm just working all day at night. I'm waking up and I'm on my laptop and I'm on the couch and I'm watching The Bachelor. Not that we're not big TV people. I mentioned 2 shows or 3 shows really, but it's unhealthy for your brain. But being on the couch is nice, and having the ability to work from home with a laptop, doing what we do, has been really life changing. It's not like we're building stuff or out there roofing or paving or what other things do you do outside in the real world. But we have all the tools available, so it's like a double-edged sword, really, where you can go down the wrong path. You gotta separate it and be knowledgeable of, or at least aware of what you're doing. We should set a schedule though. What you said, you said like, oh, is there a break? We don't really do it. Sometimes we will go get sushi in the middle of the day. We don't have like a set thing saying, oh, at noon this is it. But I guess it depends on what's going on and what meetings that we have going on that day.
Mhm. Yeah, words of wisdom, my friend. Thank you for that. Next question. Many entrepreneurs have mentors or sources of inspiration. So the question is, who has influenced your entrepreneurial journey and how they contributed to your growth?
That's a loaded question, I guess. I don't really have anybody that I can say has influenced me. Like I said in the beginning, there has been no source of business sense in my own like relative family. There's been bosses I've had that have kind of shown me that you can be cool and personable and relationable. Is that a word? And be a good coder or a good business person, but they haven't like inspired me. I think honestly, if I could be completely honest, it's my wife that inspired me to say, just do it, Tony, and that kind of put the fire under my, can I swear? Or, you know what I mean? So she's kind of been my, she doesn't know it. She's been my mentor and source of inspiration, but I don't have anybody to look back at and say, this person made me want to do it. Music, honestly, has been my big inspiration. I love music from classical to all different types. I listen to it and I get inspired, like my soul gets inspired. And that drives me to be a better person, be alive, and do good and do good work and give it to our clients. That's a corny answer, huh?
No,
It's not a person.
not at all. No, no, not at all. That's your source of inspiration. It's important to note that, right? And you're doing you're passionate about what you do, and you're passionate about your music, and you're able to blend both of those together. I think that's great, frankly, right? If
Yeah,
that's what
to be
inspires you, then pursue it, right?
definitely. I do
Mhm.
believe that music is like a source of soul. It's a way to talk to people through language that's unidentified. So it
Mhm.
definitely has given me the inspiration to do what I do today. Even though it's not a music company, I would like to get into, how people niche their companies and say, we only do such and such. We don't have a niche right now. We've been doing a lot of restaurants, but I always wanted to do sites for musicians and artists and entertainment. So maybe someday we'll get there, but I have not broken into that lane yet. We'll see.
Well, maybe this is the opportunity for people to look at this podcast and say, "Hey, we need to use Tony." So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, need a jingle? Come on. Well, they're already musicians. I guess they don't need a jingle. But
They may. So next question, my friend. Could you offer a glimpse into your future plans and goals for Three-Tone Digital? So what's the next chapter look like?
I mean, the next chapter looks like just getting more clients and
Mhm.
referrals. I think the future for now is just the two of us. Just the two of us. But the future holds, I think, getting employees, people that we trust, people that are honest and cool like us that send memes as well. Right now, sometimes we do offshore very little things to somebody that's trusted in a different country, and that's been nice. Team wise, it's just been us. So I think in the future, I would like to have people to delegate to, knowledgeable, being like, here, do this exactly like this. Or I like to clone myself and to have another Tony just do it, because I have a hard time trusting like the work of other people sometimes. I feel like just do it better yourself. It's just the two of us now, but I think in the future having more of a team, obviously having more of a client base, and maybe even niching into some sort of industry. Because I keep hearing people say, well, which industry? And you say, well, everyone, of course, everyone. Nobody wants to work with a person that wants to do every one. They want their certain one. But
Hmm.
not to bring up our old friend AI again, but AI really helps with this, because if they do podiatry, I don't know anything about foot doctors, but it can teach me everything about foot doctors really easily without having to do much competitive research and all these things. So goal is a yacht. I can't swim again, and someday I'll be there. I'll be there.
I'm sure. I'm sure. The last question before we get into getting some information about how people can contact you. Your path to success, my friend, has certainly been intriguing. What advice would you offer to aspiring entrepreneurs who are just starting their journey or facing challenges in their own businesses?
Can you get sued for saying "just do it" by Nike, right? Just do it, honestly. I think the longer you wait, and not even just jumping into it blinded and wherever the wind may take you, but there's so many, we always teach our kids, there's so many resources out there right now that you don't have to, depending on the industry, of course, go to college. You don't have to pay this gigantic, useless debt that you're going to have the rest of your life when you have literally almost everything for free, especially in terms of tech and marketing and things that matter right now. They're all online. So don't waste your time. Don't waste your time scrolling. Delete your Facebook. It's just a bunch of whatever. And learn something and do it every day. And the more you do it, the better you get, obviously, right? People get into analysis paralysis and they're like, I don't even know where to start. Just start by looking at it every day and finding YouTube Premium. I always say YouTube Premium is a lot cheaper than a college tuition. Thank you. YouTube Premium. I guess I don't say it a lot. YouTube Premium is a lot less than a college tuition. The tools are out there. Don't wait. Start today. And if you have started already, just go double hard and drink tea. Don't drink alcohol. Don't do drugs. Don't do things that are going to stunt your mind, because it's going to hold you back. Be pure. Exercise, which I should do more. Do yoga. Drink tea, like I said twice now, multiple times. I think it's good for your mind. I heard the other day, my wife found out tea used to be illegal in certain countries because they found that or is it coffee? Either one. They find that it expands your mind, and I guess the people, the government at the time, whatever, were scared of that awakening. Maybe it was coffee because it speeds you up. But drink some coffee, drink some tea, and just go at it, because the time's not going to stop. The longer you wait, the longer it's going to be behind you. Depending on what the industry is, don't be afraid to learn code, because coding, I'm not sure all the people that you've interviewed on your podcast, I see some of them are in the tech industry, but even any industry, this knowledge of especially AI, machine learning and code, or even just how to put a website up or how to FTP, it's essential, honestly. There's many fields out there that this stuff benefits, so don't be afraid of tech, no matter what industry you're in. It's not that hard. Practice makes perfect.
For
Only I.
sure. So just do it and use tech.
And drink tea. Yeah.
And great, either tea or coffee. We're not quite sure.
Mix
So,
them up. Yeah.
yeah. Well, Tony, thanks so much for your time today. It was great meeting you and learning more about your company
You too.
and a really intriguing entrepreneurial journey. So, how can folks get in touch with you to learn more about your business?
Homing pigeon is the way to go, actually. No. You can go to 3tonedigital.com. That's with the number three, 3tonedigital.com. You can call me directly, or you can text me even at 518-888-6212. That's a lot of eights, but 518-888-6212. Or you can email Tony at 3tonedigital.com, and you'll get me right away. maybe even in the middle of the night. Sometimes I have problems sleeping and I'll be up, so just expect expect a response right away. I'm also on LinkedIn. Like you just Google my name, you're gonna see a bunch of stuff like me writing music. You want to hear all these weird songs? I'm not a big into production. I do a lot of live music performances on X, this thing called X Got Talent. Been really good. That's another actual one other thing I would say for entrepreneurs. Get out on X and just do spaces. There's a lot out there for just people that want to learn how to communicate better, how to talk to people, how to talk to all different types of intelligence levels, or even just people that are narcissists or whatever it might be. It'll teach you how to identify them and be a better person yourself. I realize I go on there, I play music, and I talk to people that I now consider friends a bit digitally, but it's really made me like more confident and also be able to deal with different types of people that you deal with on a normal basis that maybe you don't want to deal with, you know? So get out there and do that kind of stuff.
For sure.
LinkedIn,
So,
Twitter, Facebook, kind of website. So you can just Google my name and you'll see me all over the place.
and let's make sure we tell them about your second site that is your portfolio. How can they see your good
Yeah.
work?
So my portfolio is on both really, but you can just go right to Tony Chick. I'll just say my name like that. TonyCiccarone.com. You're gonna see a video of me. It's gonna look just like this actually, where there's little graphics going by and stuff, and it explains who I am, all the websites I've done, all my skills, different clients. So TonyCiccarone.com, or just Google it. You'll find that. You'll find Three Tone. You'll find my music and such.
Fantastic, my friend. This has been a fun conversation. We've learned a lot about you, your business. So, again, I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy day, my friend, to join us. And to everyone watching, this is Jerry Covella, and this has been From Dream to Reality, a Business Tale podcast. I look forward to seeing everyone in our next episode. Thanks a lot, Tony.